Walking into the fray, meet Ma. Yes, don't let the short name fool you. This guy struts in a gym full of sweat lords and just throws punches like there's no tomorrow. He claims he was put into this world for one thing and one thing only: busting thieves. We've got ourselves a hard-boiled man here. Ma then takes a drive downtown. It's then revealed this was all back in 1997 before Hong Kong reared up for China. Just like from today, some things never change. We're suddenly in this club. It's your run-of-the-mill party scene, complete with booze, dancing, and women. Going to the bathroom, we meet this fedora tipper. Looks like he's not really on the bright side because he dunks his phone into the toilet. No choice but to stick your hand in. If that doesn't work, just smash the toilet. There you go, problem solved. Sam here then comes back to the clubbing scene and he meets up with Tiger and his brother Tony. What an odd name. He also mistakes Sam's wet arm as sweat. But man, that's just gross. Over at the dance floor, Archer seems to really be grooving it with the women there. Then these Viet gangsters suddenly talk business about smuggling something. Archer then loses his babe to some foreigner, but no biggie. He takes it like a good sport. And no, wait, there goes the wine bottle. Suddenly, here comes Ma with the police force. There's no trouble yet, but he wants everyone to stand down. Of course, the gangsters don't take kindly to this, and one of them has the cojones to stand up to Ma. Heck, he even spills wine on his face. That's it. Ma springs into action and grapples this idiot into submission. Now, that's some good old-fashioned police action. But these glory days are gone because Ma is currently in the hot seat right now. The judges say he assaulted a would-be suspect, breaking several bones in his body. He has another assault charge read again and again. He's cornered, so he admits to his wrongdoings. He might be taking responsibility for his actions, but he sees nothing wrong with a little police brutality. Because of his rather based behavior, he's let go. Not only that, but he complains about his time being wasted. What a Chad. Hopping over to a golfing center, we see the same shady-looking dudes from the club take a swing with these clubs now. Tiger here swings like a chud, so this dude shows him how it's done. He even does it with this girl. He swings, and that's one way to impress the ladies. They all have a good laugh, but these jokers suddenly crash their little party. Aw, these monkeys scared the chicks away. Looks like they might be their superiors because they've been waiting for that smuggle for a long time. 2 months to be exact, but nothing has happened. Sam and his boys also reveal this is an $80 million job. I can see now why this dude is getting frisky. But then this random goon comes busting into the scene with a chair. So a big fight breaks out and fists fly. Despite fighting with all their might and against the odds, Archer and the boys lose. Now they gotta submit. The next day on a beach, it looks like they close the waters to the public. So now everyone's just standing around except for Ma here. He's doing a little stretching. Then Inspector Wong and his dog arrive on the scene. He's here to give Ma's verdict that he and this guy might not be partners anymore. Suddenly, these old folks start a revolution and swim anyway, despite not having a lifeguard. Later on, Ma goes full Terrence Fletcher and leads this band. Sadly, they're not quite his tempo. Apparently, this is the police's marching band, but they kind of play out of line. Entering the room suddenly is Ma's mom. He's just here to say goodbye to her son because she's going back to her hometown. He then helps her on her way out. Somewhere else, these gangsters are plotting the downfall of Sam's gang. It looks like Tony and his gang are making negotiations to get some revenge for that assault last time. Archer is also filled in with the deal. Archer wants to talk to these suits, so they hear him out. Archer threatens one of them with the risk of losing his family. Archer has already spotted the target's wife and child, so he forces them into a deal with them. With that threat, the suits stay out of Sam's business. So now they can take him down easily. Despite standing down, this guy floors it. Don't worry, it's just a little prank. Nightfall arrives, then Wilson here is storing some of his moolah while enjoying some noodles. He then makes a call to several people because guess what? It's his birthday today. He must be thrilled to receive all these birthday greetings. Despite all these greetings, it's quite the lonely birthday for him. That's when Judy arrives to fix that. They have a little friendly banter about liquor. Then Judy goes for a shower. The next day, Wilson drives Tiger around to his shady parking lot, then Tiger gets off. Tiger then assaults this dude, then his wife and kid escapes. Unlucky for him, Tiger lives up to his name. Suddenly, the cops are near, so it's time to book it. Turns out, the guy who got assaulted might be a cop because Inspector Wong visits him. Apparently, he wants to testify. Some time passes, then a perp is caught. Turns out, it's Wilson and he's undercover. Wong reveals that Sam narked on Tony, so everything is about to hit the fan. Ma comes into the office, then he and Wilson fool around like kids. Another day passes and they find one of the bigwigs of the Triad, so they take him in for questioning. Meanwhile, Wilson attends a grand party with the Triad brothers in sight. Tiger is ticked off, but Archer mouths off his brother so that he won't scare the pants off of their mother. In another place, the Triad bigwig reveals this is Archer's mother's birthday party, and oh boy, that can't be good. Ma gets a signal from Wilson that something's about to go down. Ma then gets his men ready, but the brothers begin to smell something's up. This might be a setup, so they begin to move the party. The Triad moves out in 2 groups. Then Archer goes to take his mother away. On Ma's side, he investigates a crime scene in a hotel. Wilson is then called up by Judy, but he's undercover right now. Inspector Wong and his men are also on the move, while the Triad men arrive at the secret warehouse. Inside, they open up a safe and boom! Look at all that cash! Enough to last a lifetime. Wilson couldn't help but stare. I mean, come on, that's $80 million. Once they get the money, Wilson sneaks back to signal Ma again. But he feels like Tony might be onto him. This doesn't look good because he might get ejected. They make the drive and Tony asks for Wilson's phone. While this is going on, Inspector Wong is in pursuit of Archer and his mother. It's a subtle chase, but the cops have him on their tail now. They tell him to pull over, but Archer turns a deaf ear. Of course, the chase doesn't go too rough considering there's an old woman on board, but more cops swarm Archer's tail. Now he's cornered like a dog. On the flip side, Tony suddenly goes somewhere remote, and things are heating up as he calls up Ma. Tony then says they're headed to the pier. Then Wilson makes the jump to freedom. Well, not exactly, because Tony comes back and runs him off. Luckily, some bikers arrive to check if he's okay. Hours later, it looks like Wilson's in the ICU. Inspector Wong and Ma wait outside. Then Judy blasts in with all her rage. She knows something is up. Then Ma reveals that Wilson is a cop. On the bright side, they got Archer behind bars, right? He's desperate because it looks like he's recruiting new members for the Triad. Just into the offices, Ma questions Archer's mother, but she seems to be too schizo to answer any questions. In the following days, Ma takes Archer's mother to possibly an elderly home, where she will be properly taken care of. Being senile that she is, she still invites Ma to her birthday party before she leaves. Now that that's out of the way, it's court time. The judge reads out the accusations and Archer pleads innocent. This is gonna be a long investigation, but he's not allowed to travel outside of Hong Kong, and all of his assets will get frozen. But this doesn't stop him from being snarky. Time passes and it looks like Wilson will make a full recovery. Judy helps him up since he's now on the disabled side, but she and Ma are happy about his recovery nonetheless. He's also being transferred to an administrative role in the police department, and he gets no hazard pay. Boo! All these crippling conditions frustrate Wilson, understandably. On the Triad side of things, Archer may be behind bars, but Tony and Tiger are still at large with all that money. They also vow not to let Sam and Wilson testify. They smuggle all that money across some seas, not to mention they also take their money back to their original homeland. They plan to collect the family, then get out of Hong Kong. All the preparations are being made, including putting a pipe bomb into this turkey. More time passes and it looks like Wilson can fully walk again. That's good news. Then Inspector Wong and the boys deliver something to their home. It's rather a large gift, but what is it? Well, it's an electric massage chair. Maybe that's the force's hazard pay. They have a few laughs, then a delivery of turkey comes in. Uh-oh. They take the turkey in, but luckily the delivery guy drops the detonator's battery. But before digging in, they take a little group photo. The delivery guy rushes upstairs to get a signal, but Inspector Wong decides to heat it up. Judy also helps, and oh boy, boom goes the dynamite. Inspector Wong bites the dust, and sadly, it looks like Judy did too. In the hospital, the men's spirits are shattered because of what just happened. Then this girl boss cop shows up and says she's taking over Inspector Wong's duties. Everybody is going to be forced into a mandatory vacation just to keep them on the down low in the meantime. Of course, Wilson and Ma aren't compliant with this, but they don't have enough evidence or leads to bust the Triad. Somewhere on the outskirts of town, Wilson goes on a fast and furious furious drive. He's taking out all his rage into the dirt beneath his tires. Ma's not too far behind, observing him, looking like he's not just doing this for kicks, because Wilson pulls out a Triad member from the trunk and attempts to beat some information out of him. Try as he might, it looks like he doesn't really know where Tony and the Triad is. Wilson is overridden with rage, but Ma tries to snap him out of it. He reminds him that it's gonna be court day tomorrow, so he's gotta control his sanity. The day of testifying has arrived, and coming out from the cells is none other than Archer. On the opposite side, some assassinations of the witnesses begin. Ma is on the scene with one of these recent crime investigations. Then he urges the head honcho to protect Wilson in the hospital. Speaking of Wilson, there he is with his beautiful girl. She miraculously survived that turkey ordeal, but she wants Wilson to quit being a cop. I mean, who can blame her? Judy offers a faraway home so that they can at least live a peaceful life. This isn't the only big news, because Judy reveals she's got a bun in her oven. This is great and all, but Ma and the others can sense something bad is about to happen. They're on their best guard, and they cover the hospital while Wilson gets some food for his girl. Downstairs, however, there's something really sussy about this janitor. Ma inadvertently rides with this creepy man. Then one of the cops stops the elevator. She says that Wilson wants to tag along, and just like that, Ma throws a kick. His quick reflexes subdue the assassin, and cops come running in. Ma, the assassin, and this copper are left rumbling in the elevator, but he takes out one of the cops. The assassin escapes, but Ma gives chase. More bad news, another assassin got to Judy. Ma is still free running to chase down the first assassin, and they all come tumbling down from the hospital. It's a long chase. Back at the hospital, Wilson discovers that Judy's gone, and she's been captured by Tony. He calls up Wilson, and he's at his knees. He's desperate for his woman to be safe, so he claims he'll do anything. Alright, back to this chase. Ma runs after him all the way through the market. Then he gets cornered. The assassin starts throwing obstacles in his way, but Ma dodges right through it. He even kicks him through this table. Of course, the assassin will play dirty and has begun taking hostages. Ma has no choice but to drop the gun, but the assassin drops the hostage far away. This sets Ma's eyes on fire, and the fight is on. The assassin starts with a strong flying kick, but Ma dodges it and lets out a flurry of kicks. This guy's a dirty rat, so let him have it. With every consecutive bout, Ma only pummels the dude. Then he delivers a devastating suplex. Soon he gets him on the ropes and rams him to the corner. He's really tenderizing him, but he's got to control himself so that the assassin could face justice. Well, it looks grim because Ma keeps punching away. Then after a long time, he washes his hands. The cops arrive, and just like that, the dude is on the ground, cuffed. Ma is obviously frustrated at the assassin due to the casualties he caused, so he walks away. On Wilson's side of things, it looks like he's at the end of his rope. Not to mention, Ma arrives and Judy's gone. He catches on to what's going on. Ma calls up Wilson, and he says he really has no choice. He's gonna choose to testify for Archer instead of against. This isn't the only trouble for Ma, as the head police girl boss needs a testament from him because he ended the assassin's life. It's now or never, because the judge gives Wilson the room to testify. With a deep breath, he pleads ignorance and says he doesn't remember anything. With that being said, Archer is now a free man because of Wilson's ignorance. Time for a celebratory smoke. Wilson, on the other hand, immediately drives to his discreet forest. Archer is out on the streets and is happy to call his brother, but Ma then assaults his sorry tuchus. He subdues Archer, and it looks like they come across a trade deal. Because of this, Tony is furious and takes it out on Wilson. Many hours pass, and Archer walks Ma to where the compound is held, all supported by his gun, of course. They arrive at the meeting place, but Tony is across the waters. Not just that, but he's also got armed men and a sniper to boot. They show their bargaining chips, and everything starts off very slowly. Wilson and Judy row to the other side, and they're free. Of course, not without a few bullet wounds, however. Ma returns the favor and turns Archer into Vincent Van Gogh. Not just that, but thanks to Ma's sleight of hand, he takes out a few of the guys too. Ma hoists Archer far enough and breaks away. Tony hands his brother an AK, and he pays and sprays. That entire house is riddled with bullets, but they mistakenly shoot their own sniper. Ma escapes the house and makes a run for it. Then he crawls in the grass. Time for a bootleg, all gillied up. While the grass gets riddled with bullets, Wilson thinks about his partner. He ditches her girl and drives back. He crashes into Archer's tree, then Ma takes the miracle shot. Archer is still alive, however, and he and Wilson duke it out. That's when Tony grabs the chance to shoot Wilson. See, now Ma is angry. It's time for a final duel between him and Tony. A chase is on. Then, whoops, out of bullets. Settle it with fists like real men. With great defense and dexterity, Ma holds his own. Ma strikes back with some more grapples and a suplex. Soon, Tony is on the losing end. Then, cue slow-mo. Tony's down for the count. He tries to escape, but here's the chokehold. old. This time, he's got his cool and Tony is tied down alive. Tony's mother is seen nearby and so is Wilson, but he's barely alive. A lot of time passes and it looks like that was a mission accomplished. No, this isn't that famous Flash movie, but that was Flashpoint, starring Donnie Yen, Colin Chu, and Louis Koo. Which was your favorite fist-bashing scene? Let us know in the comments below using #CinemaRecap, and we'll see you in the next Kung Fu Cop action.